Good morning, Mike from the Rural Montana family. Another beautiful day in Montana. A little chilly out, not as bad as yesterday. Yesterday it was minus 18 Fahrenheit. Today it's only -2, so it warmed up quite a bit. And I'm taking the bolt out today again, and I did it a little bit different than yesterday. Again, the bolt was plugged in all night long, so it could do battery heating as needed. But this time I preheated it twice this morning. So the preheat cycle ran 2 times for 20 minutes. And right now I turned the car on and the heat is going. Set it to defrost, because even after 2 times heat, you can see there's only 2 little spots on the windshield that actually warmed up a little bit and froze again because it shut down before I made it out here. So yeah, it's still plenty cold for the car to refreeze really quick. So yesterday I went to a job site 26 miles away. Today we're going to town about 30 miles or so. And we'll see, now that it's so much warmer, and especially that the car is preheated. We'll see if we do much better in regards to range, or if we lose as much range as we did yesterday. Well, let's go. Alrighty, we got 100% charge today. Since I'm gonna be driving around town a little bit, we show 179 miles average. And I just reset the meter, so distance is 0 and it jumps to 3.9. And so yeah, well, let's go and see. We are 1.7 miles into the trip, going down the road here, and you can see it shows 178, so we almost did 2 miles, but it only deducted 1 so far. Basically the range is based on about the last 30 miles of driving, which means that is from yesterday when we did really bad. You can also see there's a little bit of the yellow line showing below the 178, so we're a little bit going towards the lower range, but just a tiny bit compared to yesterday. We were already going ways down there at this point. Also over here you can see actually the temperature here now shows 1 degree, which may be about accurate as we're driving out of the valley. It gets a little bit warmer, but what you can see there, definitely climate control and driving is about half-half right now. And yesterday we had way more climate control for heating of the car, so we're using much less power for heating up the car because it was preheated, so we have more power available for driving, which means we have more energy available for driving, which means we have higher range, and we should lose less range today on this drive than we did yesterday, mainly due to preheating. Road conditions are about the same as yesterday. It is beautiful and sunny out here. Always beautiful and sunny if we got these freezing cold temperatures, because well, there's no clouds usually, otherwise it gets warmer. So we're just about maybe a mile to the interstate now, and as you can see there, we got a green line growing right now, going up. Yesterday we were down yellow at this point. Today we're up because heat is not going full blast because it was preheated. It's not so much the outside temperature, it's mostly the preheat. Certainly the outside temperature does have an effect, but preheat is what helps a lot. And you can definitely see this over here. Heating now is less than 50% and driving came above 50%, so we're doing pretty good. And yeah, we are 5.3 miles here into the trip, and it shows 175. We started at 179, so we're actually ahead of the game at this point. So yeah, about another mile or so and we'll get on the interstate, and then things will change again a little bit as we will be going 80 miles an hour if possible. I assume road conditions will be okay on the interstate. We are on the interstate now for already about a mile or two maybe. And as you can see, the ring about around the speedometer is at going kind of dark yellow again because we're going fast and faster. So we're going up to the 80 speed limit. Road conditions are okay, so we should be able to do the 80. And you can see the yellow line is now going down again, but it's not growing as fast as it was yesterday, not nearly as bad. Also, we're about 10 miles into the trip and it shows 167. So now we lost 2 miles somewhere already. One of the reasons for that, we can see over here. You can actually see there we got some battery conditioning going again, just like we did yesterday. So it's still plenty cold out and it started some battery conditioning, but we have much less for heating, and most of the energy was used for driving, and that is very important. So we want to use it for driving and not for heating. That's why we want to preheat, but we can't do much about the battery conditioning. It has to do it if it has to do it. We want to keep the battery healthy. So anyway, yep, we're going a good 80 here. And you can see the yellow line still has not made it down all the way yet. So we're doing pretty good at this point. And yeah, we'll go a few more miles and I'll check back in. I'm about to get off the interstate. Taking an exit a little bit earlier here to make it more comparable to yesterday's drive. So we're about 24.5 miles into the trip. And you can see the yellow line actually is already receding and going back up. So we haven't done too bad at all. Actually, we were able to go a full 80 miles an hour pretty much all the way till just almost here to the exit. Yesterday we had actually a little slower stretch in there because there was some traffic going slow and had to follow some truck and cars there. But so we're doing pretty good. So we got 25 miles into it. So if we're looking at this, we are at 142. That makes 167. So we lost 12 miles so far. So it's not too bad. We are at 2.3 miles per kilowatt hour. Yesterday at this time we were down to 2.1. And so we're doing a little bit better. And if we look over here, most of the energy was used for driving. There's that little itty bitty for battery conditioning in there, and less than a quarter now for cabin heat. And that is very important to note, cabin heat. So that is preheating helps a lot there. Certainly the temperature is a little bit warmer today. We are here now at 11 degrees already, so a little bit warmer. I believe yesterday when we arrived at our destination we were at 6 degrees, I believe. So here it's 11. The temperature difference is not that huge, but excuse me, the impact that preheat made is pretty big. So we are 25.5 miles. We're going a little bit further here and then I'll stop, and then we are roughly about the same miles as yesterday. All right, I stopped here actually at the car wash. Gonna rinse the rims out real quick. We got 26 miles, so just about same as yesterday. We averaged 2.3, and the yellow line there is receding pretty quickly now that we stopped. It still shows 142 miles average range. plus the 26 makes 168. So we lost 11 miles on this 26-mile trip. Yesterday we lost 20 miles on the 26-mile trip. And this is mostly due to preheating the car. And it is 11 degrees. I believe yesterday it was 6 degrees. So not too much of a temperature difference. The huge difference is in heating. We got probably about, what is this, maybe 12% or so for heat. Not too bad at all. Today we used 11.9 kilowatt hours and traveled 26.1 miles according to this here. So we're doing all right. So yeah, preheat is the key to save range in cold temperatures, or basically in any temperature. If you precondition your cabin while the car is plugged in, you're using the electricity straight from the grid rather than from your battery, and thus will have more range. And that is very important, especially in cold climates. Well, in any event, thank you for watching. Please give us a thumbs up for this video. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.